and welcome to the 22nd installment of the Jonesin on a Whim podcast. All NFL all the time. And the three are back.
Yeah, I'm impressed you went ahead with it last week and kept the streak going for weeks with podcasts.
Right.
We prize you for rolling with that. 'Cause, I mean, I sent my little thoughts, but I was thinking, I don't know how this is going to go. 'Cause I know I fell off the face of the earth last week, and I was like, is he going to do it? Is he at least going to post the thoughts? What is he going to do?
Yeah, you also forgot to read my itinerary because you were talking like you thought I was going to be here.
And then I always forget that because you know I'm insane.
I thought, I figured that at least we could get it out there. And I made, it was a comedy moment. I kept pausing it like three. I think I paused it 3 times because my throat got dry because of drinking. And I had to, y'all can't relieve me to get a sip. And so there were 3 obvious pauses within the podcast. But I was basically reading. But I didn't want to kill the streak. I didn't. Mm-hmm. But now that one segment or one podcast shows that I at least need someone to relieve. If it's only because I get to drink every 3 minutes.
There we go.
Yeah.
We are making
minimum value has been established.
Make it able for you to drink more.
Right.
We're here all week.
Yes, and I'm more relieved for it. That glass of wine is full. So we always start with injuries. 51st second segment. I'm going to stop giving backstories. Maybe next week. But this week, the 51-second segment, I call it that.
22 weeks in a row.
Right.
Explaining what the hell the 51-second segment is about.
I'm from New Orleans, which I feel like is nothing like not only the rest of the United States, but its own state. So I give it a statehood, if you will. 51st state. So this is a 51-second segment under this NFL format, I'm trying to do injuries, and actually this week I'm going to try to make it 51 seconds. As you can see, I'm starting to speak faster.
Good morning.
Arizona Cardinals running back Ryan Whim's out for the year. No one cares. He hadn't done anything since. The start of the year. He won't do anything going forward. 2.8 yards a carry. Shoulder injury. He's
the line.
Oh, right. Well, that's probably true.
Trade for Kevin Smith. God, come on, people.
Please do, so he can...
Chicago Bears receiver Alshon Jeffrey, who scored on Sunday, also suffered a hand injury. Still not sure the degree of that.
It hurt me to catch a pass.
It's his non-catching hand.
Non-catching hand? How is that?
Right,
is it all one hand?
So I don't think he'll be fine. But Art Scott, one of Art's favorites for the Bengals, IR out for the year, torn ACL. The Jermichael Finley, a perceived shoulder injury, and Cedric Benson, a foot injury. Actually, Benson was seen leaving the locker room with a boot, and Finley was seen leaving with a
stripper,
Aaron Rodgers duffel bag.
A shoulder boot.
No. Stripper's more believable.
He's a shoulder boot.
Daniel Thomas finally scored for the Dolphins, but also scored a concussion, so he'll be evaluated as normal.
Concussion.
Palomalu was hurt again after returning to action from a previous injury.
Shocking.
The sky is blue, the grass is green.
Hurt shoving somebody out of bounds unnecessarily, too.
Exactly.
Which is awesome.
Probably. And on another obvious note, Danny Amendola also hurt, expected to miss 6 to 7.
No.
But that was a actual really serious injury, and if you Google his surgery and Google the trainer from another team that fainted from it, it's worth your time. It was Pulp Fiction stuff. Bob Griffin, he had a concussion as well. The degree, we don't know. I believe he'll play this week if Ratface lets him. And the biggest story, well, the second to biggest is Javid Best this week. He's going to undergo a battery of tests to determine whether or not he could be activated off the PUP.
All in that.
As we know, it's
put him in a room.
Devastating concussions since college.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how that goes. And then finally, as far as fantasy goes, not as far as life goes, my Saints, their tight end, Jimmy Graham, left the game early. We thought he punched a stripper, honestly, because he was on the sideline for most of the time. But he caught a pass early, then he dropped one later. He bent a little bit the wrong way, and rightfully so. He's got an ankle injury. He was seen wearing a walking boot following the game. So bye week, we'll see. So that an obvious high winning the game, breaking the record, but it may be a possible low with him being hurt because behind him we just don't we don't and 30 other teams don't have that dynamic ability at that position. So that concludes injuries for this week. And it wasn't quite 51 seconds, but
I don't believe it.
But suck it. Entertainment news in this format's big performances of the week, and I don't think y'all have mine, so I'll let one of y'all go first so that I can have a sip.
Oh yeah, go for it. Big performance of the week. I'm tempted to go with something, but I'll go with Andrew Luck. Playing a solid game, comeback win against the Packers. Solid in the fourth quarter. It's his rookie season, and I'm not going to crown him yet because Cam had a pretty good rookie season, and we see what's going on this year. But he looks as advertised right now.
Yeah. No, he does, and that segues into mine because I know yours, and obviously Drew would be an obvious choice for me,
right?
But more importantly, the Saints got the win there, and going into the bye week, there's some optimism for the rest of the year. But I have to go. Speaking of New Orleans, I have to go with New Orleans' own Reggie Wayne, and Andrew Luck was my honorable mention. Mm-hmm. I predicted at the beginning of the season he would lead the league in receptions. He's only and after his 13 catch, 212 yard performance, he's only 3 receptions off the lead and only 8 yards off leading in receiving yards. But most importantly in that game, like for the Saints, they got the win. And they got it off maybe the best of Wayne's 13 catches, except for maybe that one hand grab that was absolutely ridiculous.
Yes,
but
it was.
It's just what he does, so it's not as ridiculous. But he caught the ball to 2, stretched out across the goal line with 2 or 3 Green Bay defenders draped over him. One of them a Hall of Famer. So I'm happy for that guy, and it's a guy that we all questioned his decision.
Yeah.
And to return to Indy. Well, and like you said about Andrew Luck, the way he's playing early on, the doubters are quickly falling by the wayside, and I don't see that, like Cam, I don't see that falling off. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, that's a big thing. I guess the segue with that, I think this is probably a good time. I mean, obviously, I can talk about Percy Harvin every week, even if he plays for 7 snaps. I'll be like, did you see him on those 7 snaps though? I mean, the Saints, that's important, but I think it's about time we talked about moonwalking out of some of the things we talked about, and I think this is the good a time as any to moonwalk out of this whole idea of maybe these guys can do without some of these coaches. I mean, because, man, Jeff Fisher, he got St. Louis looking better than anybody thought. And yeah, I wrote this even in the mail. We know Sam Bradford sucks. We talk about it all the time, and at some point that's going to screw them. But they're getting away with it right now. And, I mean, they're doing that because Jeff has some stuff installed there, and it's working already. I mean, they took Arizona and just said, look, we're pinning ears back. We know you got Jack for line. We're coming after you, and good luck.
With white ends and shit.
Like, good luck coming up with anything, because we know you got no backs, you got no line, and we know Cobb isn't a fan of any kind of pressure. He hears footsteps once. He'll be hearing them for the rest of the game, even when there's nothing there. And they came after him.
They're always there.
And they embarrassed
Poor
him.
Bastard.
Yeah, and they embarrassed him. And once he started getting hit, he was like, yeah, he just had nothing to go off of.
Yeah, no, they beat the Cardinals the way the Cardinals won their first 4 games. Being out physicaling on defense their opponent.
Yeah.
And that's why the Rams are immediately a legitimate team. Yeah. Not a legitimate playoff contender, but a legitimate opponent each week.
Yes.
Because of his leadership. And we've loved Jeff Fisher.
And it's proving itself out. So you got that one, and then, look, I joke about this, man, whether Drew has some binocular contacts where he could look and see and Page give him the stern look like you better not call that play or whatever happened. Just having those coaches in the building made a world of difference. A couple plays got turned, and I just can't help but think that had something to do with it. Just having those guys there meant the world of Drew, I know, at least.
The United's touchdown, Chase Daniels actually made the play call, our backup quarterback.
Nice. Oh, really?
He saw film and
went with it.
Something that would work against the Chargers.
Yeah, double move on.
And it's awesome that Devery got it. We were talking about that before the game, is who was going to get the record. And
Colston got the other 3.
Well, Colston was the first person who came to mind, but then I kind of said that and it's twofold. And I didn't pick up on the second, which I'm hitting myself for. But one, he's one of our last pre-Katrina carryovers. He's an LSU guy, but maybe not most importantly, but impactfully, he wears number 19. Unitas wore number 19.
True.
How cool is that?
Nice.
So not only to break the record, but to do it and show up faction with the pick there.
Trying to keep the one good player that the Jets have left. Let's throw him here.
So anyway,
sorry.
So Jeff Fisher's your.
You got Fisher.
The impact of the coaches and the way the coach played for Chuck, man. And then you look at that Wayne situation, and now you realize.
Yeah, no.
That's why he stayed.
Yeah.
Because of his love for Chuck, and then to have Chuck come up with this situation, it's just a tough thing, and for them to play their ass off.
They handed Wayne the game ball, and he handed it back to that coach.
Maybe this is the year of the coach, or the lack thereof. Yeah.
Maybe it's
maybe
makes it pretty obvious.
Peyton needs to fake some kind of cancer shit or something. I don't know.
One thing also to mention.
Not that they're doing that. That's what I'm saying.
Don't be faking the A's like magic.
Right.
But one thing about Reggie Wayne's season, you mentioned he's close to the top in receiving and yards, but he's played one less game than all those guys ahead of him.
Which is insane.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that. That is true. And we'll get to Tony G, who's at the top of a couple of those lists in a bit.
Yes.
But the next segment is our top 11, and it is our power rankings, and it's a new format that we're all here for today. So I still did the same thing last week. They were out of pocket, but they were great enough to give me their picks. So again, we're all here, so I have them obviously, and we'll start at the top. It's unanimous thus far. But there's a funny note about this game tonight. And it's the Houston Texans that won, but we'll leave them here. I mean, I expect they'll win tonight, even after that. But what's ironic is this is the 666th Monday Night Football game.
Ooh.
Tim Tebow's involved in it. 666, and he genuflected before the game.
If it had been on Halloween, that would be even better. Yeah.
Right. Well, even still, the possibilities of this happening. So, I suspect we'll find out how real this team really is. Like I said earlier when we were talking, in the next 2 weeks, they do host these two teams, the Packers and the Ravens, but they're two teams that possibly are better than them, and that's my opinion. And like I said, I think all three of us had them number one.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we go on to number 2 on our list. I think y'all both had them 2. That's one thing I didn't add to my notes. But I didn't have him 2. I had him probably 4th, the formerly known as Fool's Gold. Apparently.
Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, y'all both had him 2. I had him 4th. And my take on this is they are the lone NFC undefeated. But had Bob not gotten hurt, that likely wouldn't be the case. But like I said, we get to Tony G. He's the best tight end in NFL history to date. Period.
Yeah.
I mean,
just for longevity alone. Because that's what kills most tight ends. I mean, they have 2 or 3 magical years, and then they just kind of coast off of those 2 or 3 years to build their average, and they may play 6 or 7 years, and then they'll end up quitting, but their overall numbers will look good. Like I remember those years where the guy used to be awesome. Yeah. Which is also
Ben Coates was great.
Yeah, the obituary for Antonio Gates.
The game has changed a lot in recent years. You get a lot more catches per season.
Well, and then
receivers, but he's number 2 all time in receptions.
But exactly, and he's only 80 behind. He's only 80 behind.
No, he's more than 80 behind.
I think it's 86 behind.
No, I thought he was like 300 behind.
No, I think it's like I thought he was 86 ahead. Oh, no, maybe he's 86 ahead of everybody not named Rice. You're right.
Okay.
Maybe that's what I read.
All right, I'll stop
looking
it up.
But the beauty of him at the position is the Gates, the Grahams, the Gronkowskis, well, especially the Grahams and the Gates.
Both Winslows.
Converted basketball players.
Oh, well,
like Gonzalez was. And so he made that something for these scouts to look for. And they're finding gems. And I think there are others they just aren't coming to mind.
And they aren't panning out either.
Right. But they're causing scouts time. And When you find them, obviously, this game is tied. So going into
Don't bench me.
with the two
I don't have any weapons.
with the with third, it was a tie. The Harbaugh brothers,
Harbaugh's.
at Baltimore and San Francisco, both tied. Because I had the 49ers as 2, Stefan had them at 3, and
I had them down at 5.
right, and that's why they fell.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm
Last
running
week.
average.
Well, no, that's fine. But the 49ers another dominant performance, but they have that NFC Championship rematch on the horizon this Sunday. They host the Giants, and it appears Alex Smith heard my criticism. He had his best game of the season.
Yeah.
Maybe his best regular season game
Of his entire
Ever.
existence of life.
because I'm not counting the playoff game against us because it's us. So 18-24, 303, 18 completions, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and
Nice average.
and most importantly, 75% on the completion percentage.
The Bills are horrible.
They are, and
Oh shit.
but this is a team that's 89-6 total points for points against in the last 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
So and 1 at home, 1 on the road, and then they get the third week of a team from New York.
Yeah. Well, they got that wake up loss too. I mean, they got that wake up loss early enough. Losing to Minnesota probably put such a bad taste because they got outplayed, they got out physical, they got punked in that game, and they were behind early, and it was clear they didn't have an answer, and it was just one of them. I got off the bus and I didn't have it today type games.
Right.
And that ain't the.
And
they got too many people in that locker room. It's like, oh no.
No,
Not doing
and
that.
it was 300 yards not on the air but on the ground.
Yeah.
They got on the ground too. And again, the Bills do suck.
And that's
so
12 that's
and we're
1,200
done.
yards. Yeah.
We're done with the Bills,
Yeah,
right?
that's-
I think
we can move and walk out.
Our stock has been sold. We sold low, but we're just getting rid of it.
Had to
Yeah.
do it.
Messing up my portfolio, man.
Right.
I'm
No,
wrong about enough stuff.
Well, and
Mario is copping pleas.
he's
about his
Mario.
wrist.
He risks for life for this guy. And then Mark Anderson, apparently he's injured too, but he left the game, so he's got excuses. He actually left the game. But and then the other team tied, the other Harbaugh-led team, our Baltimore Ravens, our AFC representative in the bowl. I couldn't knock them down too far. That was an obvious trap game that they still won, and a lot of folks have left that defense for dead. The Kansas City Chiefs are the fourth. They still are the fourth overrated, the fourth overall offense yards per game. Held them to 6 points. Because Kansas City's problem is turnovers.
They're always throwing.
Well, it's turnovers.
40-2.
But that's a nice performance. They held them well below that 404 that they average, or 405.
all right.
So, defense ain't dead yet. So,
Baltimore defense, you mean?
right.
Yeah.
That Baltimore defense.
Kansas City stats are falsified.
But they're the fourth.
That's a lot.
They've been in most games. So, and they played us. I get that. But they also.
But even that was
Jamal Charles still had 140 yards again yesterday.
Yeah,
I mean,
easily.
But he had to work for it. 30 carries. I mean, that's still a good average.
Right.
But, he can average 7 per carry.
right. Well, because he
pretty much
reels
his
off
career.
that 80 yard.
Yeah. As you know.
Right. Yes.
Yeah,
As we
because he's at 5.4 right now.
Yeah.
Yards per carry on the season.
Tony Gonzalez is 86 ahead of the number 3 guy.
Yeah,
Marvin
that's
Harris.
okay. Fuck yeah,
Who
he's
shoots-
a murderer.
shoots
He's at kids and babies.
Rice is 361 ahead of Tony.
Yeah, okay.
Tony,
You're right.
Tony ain't gonna keep playing long enough to beat that. Then.
No, this is it. 95% chance because he thinks they're going to. All right.
We shall see.
And oh god, he's from there. All right. So fifth.
And
That's Foster for about 50.
That's why he didn't get drafted because he's slow.
So fifth was unanimous. I think we all had the Patriots.
Yeah.
No, you.
Well,
Art had him
I
fourth.
had Patriots up.
Art had him fourth. We both had him fifth.
Fifth, yeah.
Because that offense was.
They're running the
rolling.
football.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
offense was-
54.
Which is awesome.
54 attempts for 250. Well, you bring in some Louisiana boys, you're going to run a goddamn ball.
I ain't
It's like
complaining.
it's like
Then we'll talk about the best of all time
That's
at the end. And honestly, I just want to get this in. I don't see this team losing again until
They might not.
December, if at all.
Yeah, the schedule, as
The
we
schedule,
observed, is
Yeah.
the schedule kind of opened up for him.
not
Yeah.
bad.
So there's no real chance of a loss till
Even with
December.
Buffalo and the Jets doing this.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And even
The bill hit the plane. It's down.
It was
they're both
a
down.
mid-air
Right.
collision between
Right.
a Buffalo and a Jet. Like, I got you.
Yeah, right.
Jeez.
It was a Learjet. But
It wasn't.
and 6, I think, is also pretty unanimous. I think we all had them. No, you were
I'm
off.
messing up
You
that
and I had the Bears 6th.
Yep.
He had him 7th.
Yeah.
Another dominant performance.
Yep.
It's
At least in the second half.
sports is luckiest and most opportunistic defense in NFL history over the past decade. Briggs and Tillman scored touchdowns in the same game 2 weeks in a row.
Yikes.
That hasn't happened since never. It's
Yeah.
never happened. Need I say more?
Two guys scored.
Yeah.
Need I say
All
more?
right.
Yeah, that's.
Oh my! And it's the Bears, no less. But this is the worst football season I've ever encountered in my life. And I've been through worse.
Versus expectations, I would think yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's psycho.
7th is also unanimous, but
Well, almost.
right. Well, they fell at 7th. And
We both had the Vikings 7th, I guess.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
And then he
I
probably had him. He
I
had him
liked
6th.
them a little bit more than the Bears. But yeah.
You know what?
I had to put him up there.
Right, and the only thing I had holding them back was the loss to the Colts, and that suddenly doesn't look like a bad loss
That's
anymore.
what I'm saying,
Yeah.
man. It was barely. It was a last-second drive type thing. So that's why I'm hanging. And I know, because of the whole Percy Harvin and he's awesome, and I talk about it all the time thing. But they're 4-1, man. How many games are they gonna have to win before people say, "Hey, man, I don't know about this. This is."
But we'll get to that.
They're winning.
I know it is, but it's a
I'm
simple.
still concerned about Washington starting last year 4-1, and then
And it's a simple formula of how they're
Crap in the
doing it, but their defense is still steady, and that's what matters.
That's
they've
what
been
I'm
playing
counting
well. And that was opening weekend when they had the Colts game, right?
No, that was week 2.
That was week 2. Okay.
But then they turned around to beat the 49ers.
But still,
so.
at that point, yeah, it was. We were thinking, okay, which one of these teams is going to go 4-12, and which one's going 5-11? That was
Right.
What that game looked
They're
like.
both about. Yeah, I don't know. And 8th, we finally recognized this team. I think unanimously. I had them 9th, and then y'all both had them. No,
Or did I
no, you and I had them 9th. He had them 8th.
Okay, yeah.
The New York Giants.
Yeah.
I really don't know what to make of this team, and allowing 400 yards to a previously pretty inept offense is alarming. But also alarming is the number of injuries that this team is accumulating.
And-
So
They're doing it early though.
And their offense is.
that's how they do it every
Cleveland's offense is better this year with Whedon.
year. It is.
I mean,
Yeah.
he can roll up some yards.
And Trent Richardson. He's starting to
Yeah,
find
that
his
too.
way.
Trent Richardson will
Yeah.
make your safeties do something other than fall back and wait for the Hail Mary. And Whedon got enough of an arm to.
No,
get it
I
down.
like Whedon.
If he had any real
Browns are
weapons,
the
he'd be
only
on.
winless team, though.
And they will remain
Yeah.
that way.
They
for-
were. Well, that's
a while.
Snake. It's Cleveland.
When they play Cincinnati this week, so who knows.
They got it.
And we all dropped this team, rightfully so. At 9 is the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
Art had him 9th. Stefan had him 8th, I believe. And I had him 10th. It's the worst offensive line in football. Still. It was a year ago. Still is now. Cobb has shown me some guts, though.
He's taking a lot of hits.
Yeah.
But if he keeps taking those hits, Ryan Lindley will become a household name. And
In his own house, at least.
yeah, and you since the Kool-Aid's still there, the Cobb aid, I guess, is what we're drinking
It's just
because
the Cobb aid.
there's really
Nice.
no other reason.
Because there's no running back.
No,
aid.
there's no reason to believe
Cobb ain't need to be.
he really. He
He's
showed
got
me a
the
lot Thursday
tough.
night. He did. He
He's
is.
tough. He got hit.
He is
A lot.
A lot. And
Kevin
he kept
Smith.
making throws.
Jeez, Kevin Smith. How obvious is that?
Oh man.
Give up the 5th round pick. Quit.
I don't
trying to
even
be
think
cute.
honestly, you give
Give
Detroit
Give up that
a
$20.
Kid Rock album, and then
Yeah,
that
Kid
that
Rock and
dumbass
$20.
coach they got him.
I'm not sure.
Is this a double CD?
I'm not sure he doesn't have a locker. Even has a locker anymore in Detroit.
I don't understand this. He single-handedly, single-leggedly saved that season last year at times. I mean, whatever. I mean, we already have 5 running backs that we don't even use. So they finally, I don't really get.
Yeah, we
into
got
that.
enough.
I hated on Ingram too, and that's for another day. As I did it, he fumbled, so it was perfect. I don't want to make it too personal yet,
I bet Rivers bitched about it.
but that wasn't a fumble on the bench. But And coming in at 10 on our list are the Philadelphia Eagles, and I had them 11th. So did Art, and Stefan had him 7th.
I did.
I guess so.
Shit. Okay.
You rolled with it.
I guess I'm saying playing in Pittsburgh and losing on the last second field goal.
Right. No, and that's what I said. It's
not a bad loss at all.
Against a desperate Steelers team, in a winning field goal, no shame.
Yeah.
3 turnovers by Vic, a shame.
But that's why I still am not holding too much stock in Pittsburgh because they need a whole lot to win a game. Mendenhall looked great, which is good, and as always, I'm beginning to wonder have people figured out these CL injuries, man. Like, have they come up with the right surgery and rehab schedule? Because we're getting a nice little catalog of people now that are coming off of those injuries, and you're thinking, oh, well, I don't know. And then you watch them, and it's like, oh, yeah, that guy looks kind of good.
Yeah.
That's probably something we could read up on is, have the techniques become
Because his was late, wasn't it?
Yeah, his was week 17.
Yeah.
30 years ago, if you tore your ACL, they had to basically pry open your kneecap like a rusty drawbridge,
And you were like screwed for life.
And when I had it in the mid-90s, it was Arthur Scott.
It was the same thing.
Yeah, just
They drilled the hole and...
Right.
Yeah.
But one consideration is if you don't tear any cartilage when you're tearing the ligaments, then there's less long-term damage. I mean, if you tear cartilage, they have to remove it, and you have less cushioning in your knee. I don't know if that just happens to be the case with these Charles.
Well, there's so many advancements.
If it's just a ligament.
Yeah, there's so many advancements too since you were.
I have to think it's progressed in the last 17 years.
Right. Yeah, especially with the medical assets, I guess, or things that they have access to.
Medical horsepower, perhaps.
Just seriously, Google the Amendola thing because it's crazy. Like I've read it, and an actual medical trainer fainted in the locker room. Like, I can't believe that they even attempted that. So 11 ended up being the Green Bay Packers, mainly because I had them 8th, and then Stefan had him 12th, and Art had him 14th. And I still think this could possibly be the best team in the NFC. They lost one game. They lost one game they actually didn't, and another they kind of didn't have a chance to win. I mean, in Indy yesterday, that was a tall order.
And they squeaked out against the Saints.
But
too. I mean, it's like, man,
no, I know, and but that was a game the refs tried to give us, and we didn't take. But again, I've said it from day one. That offensive line it's not good, and it may do them in before they actually can do them in a playoff loss.
Yes.
So, but I still have to recognize them, and they finished 11th, and I'm not a big Mike McCarthy guy. He was our offensive coordinator in New Orleans for a while, and
I mean, they just got some spots on their schedule where there's going to be some people playing some games that they need to be winning. And there's only a couple
like next Sunday night.
Yeah, like there's a couple of cupcake games, but it's a couple. You're talking Jacksonville in week 8, and you're talking Tennessee, who will probably be completely tent-folded by week 16.
Yeah.
The rest of these games are going to be some people that are like, man, hey, I need to win this damn game. And some of these teams are going to be really capable of winning these games.
Yeah, no.
And teams with talented defensive lines that are going to be coming after Rodgers.
Or just defensive lines. We got pressure on them.
Yeah. Yeah, so think about that. And that injury list is stacking up, man. And he's going to be down to James Jones and Jordan Nelson before.
James Jones is.
But that's what they're going to be down to. And it's going to be like, all right, man.
Bro, I'm always available.
Yeah.
Jordan Nelson can do what I can do.
Donald Trump was going to be like, hey, do you want me now? Like, I'm over here dancing with
He
stars.
caught a touchdown against us.
Like, could you
He's still there.
Now?
He caught a touchdown last week.
Yeah. It's just looking
First time ever. Didn't like it for like 2 seconds.
It's looking troublesome for them.
And then that was our 11th. And when we do this, obviously under the new format, we do give 1 to 15, unless you're in Amsterdam. but we actually had 10 of the same. Each of us had 10 of the same. One of us had a different team that we didn't have. The other 2 omitted, I guess, the better way to put it. I had Green Bay in my top 11 at 8. Art had the Chargers at somewhere around that, and Stefan had the Saints at 10. Yeah. And he had the New Orleans Saints.
So you're saying
at 11. At 11.
Best 1-4 team in the league.
And
by far.
And both of y'all mentioned them in your top 15, and I did not.
Bye week, hope spot. This is the hope win.
But obviously, I believe in them more than most.
Yes,
but I'm not trying to.
Extra week to save.
I'm not trying to ruin myself. Right? No, that is obviously. Honestly, that's a good thing, especially with LSU trying to jump back into the top 5 this week against Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
But
that could be tough.
Yes, well, no, but it's at home at night. It's done. But
come in.
The Chargers, I did have at 12. You mentioned the Rams. I had them at 15. Yeah. The Steelers we did not mention. But I had them 14. But they got back to 500. But sadly, this team looks like a 500 team still.
Who is that now?
The Steelers.
I think they'll get to it somehow. But
that's where they are now, and I think that's where they'll land.
But these injuries, man, that's getting to be a problem.
Right, and I know you're worried about the old man. But another successful stat line, 31 of 44, 300 and something. But what I think we're worried about is the 7.8 yards per catch. And then he's not turning it over, though. It's McGahee who's turning it over.
But they're taking turns with it, man.
But the big game. Yeah, big game Monday night against the Chargers.
Peyton had a shitload of picks against Atlanta.
Yes.
Right after they lost games.
But that's before Grimes was out of the year.
No, that was Grimes. After. I mean, that was right after it.
Yeah, that was right after Grimes. So that's why we were even more shocked.
But he hasn't since. That was week 2.
Yeah, and Atlanta's second in interceptions behind the obvious.
Right. So that was week 2. He hasn't since. It's been 300 yards plus, 300 touchdowns. I mean,
300 touchdowns.
Golly, that record is
for his career.
What is he, Geno Smith?
For his career, right? No, well, he can play the Texas defense.
Hey, wait a second. We held him to 48 points. That was pretty good versus what Baylor did.
But,
in the
over 300 yards and over 3 or more touchdowns. Him against Phillip Rivers. We'll get to that in our Whim hits later on. But I don't know if there were any other teams that y'all wanted. Seattle.
Seattle.
The end is near. The defense can only keep them going so much.
Yeah, Russell's gonna lose them a game.
Well, Matt Flynn is he's apparently injured, and they just Pete Carroll doesn't want to talk about it. So.
Yeah, it looks like it. Hey, we said this team would be a dumpster fire. We watched Hard Knocks. We shook our head like, oh my God, this is gonna be a horrible team. But these lines.
That's the team.
That's the team I wanted to mention.
You ranked them.
I put them at 15.
No.
Look, because both of those lines are playing really well.
Coach isn't fired yet. What the fuck?
Yeah, the coach
is overachieving.
Reggie Bush is still healthy?
Bush? He had
Tannehill's competent?
Yeah.
Hartline's competent? Ohio State receiver.
I'm going to take it far.
White guy.
Yeah, Hartline is going to be Victor Cruz, Jordan Nelson. Like, he's going to end up with some, if he stays healthy.
No, he's on his way.
How are they going to figure it out? Because it's not like somebody else is eating the pressure.
Well, he didn't have a big day yesterday, did he?
He wasn't amazing.
Well, Camarillo had a big game for us.
I saw that.
He's Lance Moore's on watch. We can plug in any 5'8" mixed race guy, and he will be great in our slot. Just know this.
It appears to be proven.
So
it appears to be proven. But yeah, those lines are playing great. When you got good line play, you got a chance. Yeah. You don't have to have a great amount of talent everywhere else when you got that. And you cannot run on these guys, apparently. So
I've always said the defense was underrated. I just assumed they were going to quit on this dumbass.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. And I thought on the back end when they didn't get to you.
Right. We believed in him for years.
Yeah.
But So no, that's one of the ones I'm glad you mentioned now. They're coming up and they beat a Cincy team that needs some work too. That should have been a team that ended up 7-1 going into the meat of their schedule.
Yeah.
And they absolutely blew a game because they don't. I don't know if they're not running with the law firm, or if they're not. I don't know.
Well, the problem with the law firm is you get all nerdy and inside the numbers. He likes to run to the left, and that's the precise thing you can't do on Miami. So they were screwed. I don't know whether Marvin Lewis didn't know that or not. I'm not.
You know.
I know, but I don't want to say it.
Gruden didn't either.
If history is any indicator,
right?
He probably
How about
didn't know.
no?
How about no?
You crazy
but this
Dutch
law firm
bastard.
thing, it's like, golly, man. He's not looking. All of a sudden, he's fumbling. It's just like, geez, man.
No, is he?
Yeah,
It's
he has 2 fumbles now.
Oh, we did see one night.
He lost one back-to-back weeks.
No, that is the Cincy curse.
Yeah.
Sorry, Foley, you don't listen anyway. Fuck you. On to the Whim hits, our weekly picks against the spread, which we pretty much all suck at.
I am the worst.
At least Stefan was respectable. And then this week, he fell back to our.
Yeah.
Art had a nice week. This week.
What is it, 6 and 10? What did I do?
No.
Not even?
8 and 5.
Well, I'm out of control.
Oh, yeah.
And Stefan 4 and 9. I'm 5 and 8, my typical average, I believe. And for the season,
No,
28 and 40. This is the worst I've ever done, ever.
That's because it's psycho season, man.
But
You
this,
forget.
yeah. No. Stefan's still respectable, 35 and 40. And Art creeping back, 25 and 35.
Woo!
Ooh.
So we go on to
Come on, 500.
weeks.
This is my first year doing this. I'm trying to
Will
get
picked
it,
the
man.
Texans, right?
Weeks.
Well,
Please.
Did we?
I don't believe I did. I
That's
can't
'cause you're
imagine
wrong.
I did. It was like 10 on the road. No, I think we all took the Jets.
Did we?
No, I think I took the Texans.
I think you and I took the Jets.
Oh, yeah.
I took the Texans this time.
But
'Cause I think the Jets are that bad.
yeah, I think Stefan and I took the Jets. Or, yeah,
I'll look it up.
right.
Cromartie is owning Andre, though. I don't know why I didn't see that coming.
Well, because Andre's a bitch. So on to again week 6, right? On week 6 picks.
We are
That's
at week
correct.
6.
Week 6.
Buys are the Bears, Saints, Panthers, and Jags.
Yeah, man.
3 teams that kind of need that.
Need it.
Saints are riding high. That was an easy touchdown.
That was
Yes,
too
it was.
easy.
So we start with Thursday night. Pittsburgh heads to Tennessee. 5-point favorites.
That ain't even enough.
Pittsburgh at Tennessee -5.
Let's go Pittsburgh.
I'm going Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
as well.
we are. It's a clean sweep. I'm off the bandwagon. Been off for a couple weeks now.
Because Hasselbeck looked like he was...
I didn't even watch.
he looked like, man, what do you mean I got to play? Shit.
Well, Kenny Britt's injured and
Well, water's wet, too. Sky's blue.
well,
Kenny
no.
Britt's hurt. Kenny
And
Britt, his
Chris
injury
Johnson's
history
Chris
is a joke.
Johnson.
He was,
And-
what,
New Chris
15 for
Johnson.
24? He was 15 for 24
Ugh.
yesterday.
Right.
So everything is normal.
Well, he was 10 for 7, like well into the game. It's
It's just not there, man.
no.
If he
It's
doesn't
horrifying.
get, if he doesn't
It's
get
over.
gaping holes,
It's
he's
over,
like-
is what it is. Then
He could
So-
go from massive contract to out of the league, and
no,
Very
there's no,
little time.
there's no doubt.
yeah.
Oh, learn to be a slot receiver. If you mix race, we can use you in New Orleans.
Oh, wow.
St. Louis goes to Miami. 3.5-point dogs.
I don't know what to say about that right there.
Well, I'll chime in. The Dolphins suck at home. I got the Rams.
That's scary, man.
Dolphins are favored by 3.5.
Yeah, they just don't win at home.
The
Yeah,
problem
I
is
got
you
St.
can't.
Louis.
What you can't do. St. Louis's offense is not that good, man.
Well, that's true.
And
That little running back, they're going to use him more. And they are using Steven Jackson enough. And I think if you run at the Dolphins, you can run on them. Same thing with these Texans. And I'm not trying to convince you, but
I don't know.
Sam Bradford on the road, I'm never going to take that, ever. I mean, I am now. Then sorry.
Right, yeah.
That's
Dolphins at home, I won't do it.
They're
If you look
horrible.
at statistical,
Yeah, they're horrible, but I'm gonna be foolish and do it.
they have more fans on the road.
I know.
It seems, anyway.
Bold
I'm going
choice.
Miami.
And our Baltimore Ravens, they host the Cowboys,
Hey,
3.5-point favorites.
who the fuck knows?
I do.
Tony Romo with his 17th touchdown.
No, his 17th sack.
I'll go with Baltimore.
Yeah,
3.5.
as will I.
Baltimore.
I think they're that much stronger, and Dallas has no O.
You got to show me something. You got to show me you can protect that quarterback.
Their D is good.
Right. No, it's very good. And that's Flacco will have another lackluster
Yeah,
performance.
I think Baltimore can win.
But
that.
they'll run
5 or
but,
6.
But Ray Rice will get a century mark again, like he does every week, and they'll maintain the game, and they're at home,
Yeah.
where they
That feels
rarely lose.
like a 20-14 win to me.
Right. And
Oh wow.
this is an interesting one. Detroit +5 at Philly, and I'm not taking the Lions until they show me something.
Stuff sucks.
Yeah.
So
I will. I'll take Detroit.
they got to wake up sometime, right?
Well, I don't think they're going to win. I think
They'll lose by
Philly's
3.
just made a habit of being in a lot of close games. So.
Yeah.
Because
That's fair. There's
4
it's
to 5
1-1-1.
Yeah.
1-1-3-1, I think, is what
4
it
of the
is.
5 games has been 2 points or less.
Yeah.
Well, 3 of them were 1 point, or whatever. So yeah,
And I don't know their offense could
or
get
2,
healthy
1,
quick.
1, 2, 2. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry,
That's okay. I know
We'll be okay.
I'm the count.
their
Sorry,
offense
yeah.
could get healthy quickly against Detroit's defense, but they're averaging 16 points per game. Philly, 80 in 5 games.
Yeah, no, it's
Man, a team like the Lions.
Foles, Nick Foles, wasn't it?
This is one of the games where
Dude,
if
Andy.
the Lions had good coaching, they say, what the hell are we doing? We're supposed to be a playoff team. Let's get this shit together. But they got sports, so there's no telling what the fuck they
Right.
did during that bye week.
They're trading for Chris Rock albums and shit.
I don't.
Eminem's back. Oh, let's go.
Yeah. Ooh. Double
So-
CD.
So you got
Eagles.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I do too, and I'm not taking Detroit to Philly. They covered last week for all 3 of us, and then this is interesting. Cincinnati goes to Cleveland, only 1 point favorites.
This is that game that the Browns need to mess around and win, but
So they don't go on 16.
yeah, this is the one. This is the one they gotta win, but I don't know if they care enough because they know that everybody in the organization and that's coaching anything is about to get fired. So
Well, the corner's not back yet, right?
no, this is his first game back.
He's back.
Yeah, because he missed 4 games. It was week 6, so he played the first game.
He played the
4
first
games
game.
out, and now he's back. So
But still, nobody can guard AJ Green, so it doesn't really matter.
I don't think it matters. This Bengals not running the ball situation is getting kind of serious though. So I'll go Bengals. It doesn't make sense. Let's say AJ Green's awesome, and that's enough.
It has been 3 of the 5 weeks.
Yeah, I got Cincy as well.
Yeah, so do I.
I see a little bit of bounce back.
Cushion
Yeah,
on the
clean
ground.
sweep.
Yeah.
And then Indy heads to the Jets.
Yeah, cushion on the ground.
+3.
That ain't enough. Colts.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm in. I'm on it. I'm on the bandwagon. I love Reggie Wayne before this. So I didn't need a
Colts at Jets.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cancer driving. Chuck Strong.
Chuck Strong. Yeah.
I'll go with. Oh man.
But we right. You're watching this. You
Yeah.
want to see how this ends.
Yeah, I kind of do.
Right,
but,
right.
With the Texans situation, it was too many people saying, "Oh yeah, the Texans gonna blow this out the water, man. I ain't even got it.
I tried. I did it a lot just to jinx it.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm going to bed at 8:30 tonight because it ain't gonna be no game. There's just too many people saying.
Oh, I'm definitely doing that. But
I'll go
That's
with
all right.
I'll go with Indy.
clean sweep again.
Yeah. I mean, their defense is not that great, so 3 points sounds about right. But
It's good enough.
I'll
But
pick them.
I don't know. I don't know if they had a couple injuries yesterday, but I didn't see him show up on the
yeah.
I'm still
on the
injured.
list. Right. So I think they'll be all right. Kansas City heads to Tampa in a game nobody's going to watch. Kansas City, Tampa 3.5 point favorites at home.
I have no idea. Kansas City, I think last week was their we care. Then they lost, so now they're like, oh, shit. And they're probably going to be staring in the face of Brady Quinn starting. So I think I know how that's going to go, even with Tampa. Coming off a bye, Shiano, I think he's a decent coach, maybe.
He's a decent kick in the balls, get you riled up guy. But yeah, I don't know yet.
Yeah.
But I'll say maybe.
No, that's fair. I mean, they've been in every game, but they haven't been favored in one yet. So
Yeah.
so you taking the Bucks?
I'm taking the Bucks. They curled up in a corner during the bye. They're going to figure out how to make sure that me having Doug Martin is valueless because LeGarrette Blount will all of a sudden get 19 carries a game and be awesome. And that'll be enough for them to beat the Chiefs by a lot.
I'm going to go with Kansas City. Don't have a lot to go on there.
Pride?
Just
Well, they
that,
wanna run.
No. I will too, and I'll tell you why.
Oh, yeah?
You saw Flacco's stat line?
Yeah.
You know who Josh Freeman is?
Yes.
I assume it'll be worse. So that's all you need.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Casey's defense was horrific the first couple weeks, but,
Maybe.
has been better
Since the second half against us.
Yeah.
Maybe everybody's
They've-
healthy and they're ready to go.
The switch is flipped.
Maybe things
Yes.
are coming around, and Tampa's offense doesn't impress me.
The switch is flipped. Yes, I'm with you. I'll take the Hefes. Oakland goes to the Georgia Dome.
And loses.
That number's
But
gonna
by
be
how much?
high. That number's got to be
What do you
high.
think it is?
I think it's like 8.
It's 8.5.
Okay.
Man, Atlanta's been BSing around in some of these games, and once again, Oakland's coming off a bye, so if they got any kind of
So
decent
what were they
anything-
doing? Like
Chilling.
eating fish tacos and
Studying lots of
Right.
film, Fat Burner Turner, and
No,
and
I
that passing game.
can't imagine that's what.
Well,
was happening.
you know,
Palmer was golfing
apparently
and
there's
chilling.
worse fans than Oakland fans.
I heard about this.
Side story. Bears fan walks into a bar in Jacksonville,
Oh yeah.
and the guy nonchalantly cut his throat. Like, all right, I'm out.
They didn't even exchange words.
No,
He
I don't think so. He
walked
just
up
like,
and yeah.
well, no, I think he was like, dude, you're hitting on my wife or whatever. He's like, and he walked out, like, got in his truck and drove away.
Jeez.
Killed the Bears fan, but it's a Bears fan, and his photo on ESPN, he had like a black eye. The guy's dead, but like the only photo they had of the Bears fan.
I thought that was of the perpetrator
No, I
because
thought
they caught the guy.
yeah, but I thought it
thought
was
that was his mugshot.
Well, I thought it was the guy who got.
No.
You sure?
I'm not sure, but that's what I thought.
I thought that's because I thought it was him. I mean, regardless, Bears fan is Bears fan.
Yeah,
but Florida is the craziest freaking state. If
Apparently.
if you hear like a meth thing, or you hear like any kind of crazy, all these crazy stories come out of Florida. So maybe Oakland is not, and we didn't have any. Well, one San Diego Charger fan got arrested last night during the game.
Waters with.
Yeah, that was the perpetrator.
Was it?
I saw the
Okay.
picture.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. But yeah, he's like, dude, you hitting on my wife, he just, and then, like, left. Like, well, like, not nonchalantly, apparently. So, Florida is, apparently, the capital of evil. And Tebow, 6'6".
No idea Jacksonville was that dangerous.
Right? I wouldn't think that either. That's like rich people, golf courses. And,
Yeah, retired people. And,
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, he just did it and, like, didn't even think twice. Like, and he had it on him. Like, that. That's crazy, man. I don't even wish that on a Bears fan. And
That's good.
right, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's a football game, but obviously it escalated toward beyond more than that. But that said, I guess Stefan's got Atlanta.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, and
To win big.
Yeah.
all right.
They've been lollygagging around, but they got to have. See, I don't know about their coaching is enough to look somebody in the face and say we've been lollygagging around. It might be like 5-0 shucks.
That's
We're
exactly what
awesome.
happened. But I have Atlanta too.
The Raiders have the worst corner group. Oh my God, really, Texas getting bumped. Don't bench me.
That's
Who's 24?
no, that's Cromartie playing wide receiver.
Oh, all right.
I don't got any weapons. My cornerback is playing receiver. What do you want me to do?
Apparently, Cromartie's the only one that can catch.
I'm taking Atlanta too because
Let's take it now.
I want to reverse jinx them.
Yeah, there you go.
It's time.
But 8.5 is big. I don't normally do that, but
Man, the Raiders corners are the worst. He found a way to step out because he sucks.
well, he's not a receiver.
Well, he saw a
The
chick.
Raiders corners, he's a receiver
Well, yeah, he saw
on this play.
Yeah, but he saw a chick over there and was trying to impregnate her. That's why he's trying to step out of bounds.
Well, that I believe. New England goes to Seattle.
Woo, the power.
Oh dear.
What do you think this line is?
Oh, the power.
I think it's like
Something respectful.
6.
It's a little bit more respectable than
Is
that.
it less than that? It's like 3.5.
It's 3.5.
Yeah.
Not enough.
I'm going Patriots with this because at some point the power of Russell Wilson is going to fade.
They're not losing until December. I'm going with New England as well.
Yeah, I'm just wondering about Seattle's ability to keep it close.
Yeah,
being
They-
at home.
but they just
Tries to not pick
Yeah,
them.
I
Have you
like-
picked the Patriots yet? You haven't.
I'm sure I have.
No.
I picked him against Arizona.
Last week
Or no,
you
wait,
did.
we all
This
picked
past
him.
week you did.
Oh,
Against Denver, you did.
don't allow my survivor hate you
Yeah.
for bringing that up again.
Sorry.
To everybody.
Yeah, I'll take the Pats.
I know.
I just don't see the ability. I don't see the ability to even attempt to keep up offensively.
No, right.
They're 2, 3 and outs away from being down at least 10-0.
Well, the thing is Seattle's pass rush will be irrelevant because of the quick pass game. It's boom, boom. It's boom, boom.
And when they're down, Seattle down in a game, I don't care where they are. They're screwed.
No, this is Russell Wilson's do or die, and I hope he steps up and gives us something.
But I don't know.
He hasn't. I mean, he's still efficient. It's just.
But now
his 2 incompletions are to the other team.
Yeah, he's gonna have. Yeah, that's the problem. And he's gonna have to be powerful in this game. And I don't. I believe in the power.
Well, he doesn't have. Speaking of weapons.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that.
Braylon.
Right was gone.
Yeah.
So this is an interesting one. Let's see how we really believe in or not believe in Buffalo anymore. Buffalo heads to Arizona. Plus 4.5. Arizona's 4.5 point favorites.
Arizona is bad.
Will they score
offense.
4.5 points?
Buffalo is turnover prone in situations.
It's the best secondary probably Fitzpatrick is seeing, right? Yeah, and he's already thrown 4 in one game.
I think he got a pick 6 deep in his heart somewhere that he's waiting to get out.
Peterson's scoring in this game.
Peterson is
if it's not special teams, it's pick 6.
This would be the game where we all say to hell with the Bills and they play lights out and Mario has 3 sacks or something, but I'm not falling for it. I ain't picking for it. So Arizona.
Yeah, I'm with you. I ain't either.
I'll fall for it. I'll go with Buffalo. Keep it close.
Somebody has to do it. Right? Let's let it be you. It shouldn't be that way because we were the ones that were calling them 10-6 playoff teams.
I didn't say they would win, but
oh, they're done. And then this is the NFC Championship preview. The Giants go to Candlestick, whatever the fuck they call it now.
New Candlestick.
Yeah, it's Candlestick. If you go there, and I have, and you pull it up on your phone, it's still on your Facebook. It still registers as the Stick. Plus 49ers 5.5 point favorites.
Ooh, that's a high number.
Well, they've beat down a lot of teams.
But they beat some teams that needed to be beat.
But one was on the road, one was at home.
Yeah.
But by 40.
But they beat 2 teams that needed to be punked, that were mistake prone.
Right.
And you know the Bills quit playing like in the middle of the second quarter of this last game. They were like, well, shit, we lost. The Giants put up points against everybody, man. So
everybody is who? Look at the schedule. Cleveland,
but
that's actually
nobody's dropped 40 on Cleveland.
Yeah,
I mean
nobody's running for 2. We didn't mention Ahmed Bradshaw's 200 yards.
That's insane. I mean that and Akeem Nicks is at some point going to play professional football again. I don't
guess they're not Ruben Randall. I'm embarrassed, and I mean they got 7 of everything.
Yeah, and based on that, I'll go Giants. Even though you got to figure the 49ers are thinking we let y'all off the hook last year, but I'm rolling with the Giants.
It's just a game that they pull out. But
they'll be up for it.
I don't know if they win, but I think 5.5 for San Francisco. The way they get you is they 3 and out you to death, and then they get some short fields. Alex Smith makes 1 throw, and then they beat you.
And then and you say that the throw. The secondary for them is not very good. It appears
it's some health issues, but they now they know what they don't have. They know they got to score, and you know when you put Eli in jackass situations, he makes jackass throws, and people make jackass.
When it matters, and I think they're like 500 now or above it. So
maybe they don't care as much.
Right?
Maybe they just show, this is the take a shit game.
This is it for me. The San Francisco, I'm taking them. They cover this. This is it.
I'm taking them too.
Yeah, they're gonna.
I think their offense has a lot of confidence right now.
So yeah.
This is it. If they do it, they're going. They're going far, and there's only one team that can beat them. I don't know who it is, but
I'm just gonna say the Chiefs. The Vikings. You own it. You get it now. All right.
Vikings are 4-1.
There you go. Speaking of the Vikings, they go to the Redskins. No respect. 2.5 point dogs. The Vikings, 2.5 point dogs.
Wow.
It's the second month of the season, right? So Shanahan's predictable ass coaching begins to be obvious. The injuries get to mounting up. We don't know if Bob's playing or not, so that's a little bit greedy to talk
He's
about.
playing.
Now.
He's practicing.
He's practicing Wednesday.
Yeah.
Shanahan's a jackass.
Oh, well, we know this.
Well, we'll check him out. We'll work him out Sunday morning.
I don't think Griffin. I don't think he should play.
His cousins look like shit. He threw one pass and Santana Moss was wide open.
Yeah.
I'll go.
And then he sucked before that. So you've got, obviously, Minnie.
Yep.
I'll go with Minnesota.
You going Minnie too?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm going the other way. I think there's too much film on this Minnesota simple offense. They're gonna take away Harvin, and Peterson suffered a slight ankle injury.
Yeah.
And
early and
this is me assuming Griffin plays, because if he does, they would have beat the Falcons, and they're at home, and their fans are relentless.
Need a win.
Yeah, and I'm not sold on. I'm more sold on Hazlitt's ability to coach defense, and if their offense is as simple as I'm reading it is, he'll figure that out, and they'll run into some problems.
Make things hard for Pondo.
Right. So I'm rolling with the Skins there.
I think Pondo will be a little bit more healthy than he was this week too.
So he could move around a little bit.
He'll get a little bit squirrely and move the pocket around.
Yeah.
And Jerome hadn't had his jackass couple plays.
0 catches. Yeah.
Yeah. So
but he's new to all of it. Everything's new.
So he's really just a take a shot guy now, and I think with the injuries that the Redskins have had, they're gonna take a couple shots, and he's probably gonna. It's about time for him to land one.
Right. Okay, that's fair. And then Sunday night game, Green Bay. Green Bay goes to.
Why they gotta play Texas on Sunday night? It's just not fair. I picked Aaron Rodgers instead of Ray Rice. I'm stupid.
Discount double douche.
It's not fair.
Comes to Houston.
Is that a Fat
I don't even know what that is. I don't know.
Is it like a Fat Albert kid or
I don't
Mush
know.
Mouth or something like that?
Green Bay comes to Houston. What do y'all think this line
All
is?
these fake ass.
Green Bay coming
Packer
to
fans.
Houston.
What the fuck?
Houston by how about 7?
They thought it'd be that much.
Yeah,
It's 5.
5. Yeah. I guess that means I'm picking Houston
Right?
because I think it should be 7.
Kind of put yourself into a hole there.
The Texans, it's about time for them to start turning games and productions. And this Packer desperation thing, I mean, as much as I'm hating on the Packers, they are getting to the point of, hey, we need to mess around and win some of these games. And obviously, if the Texans bring the jokes like they're known to do, this would be a good time to do it, because they could end up, 5-0. Look at this, 5-0. It's so awesome. We got a game on Sunday night. Look at this.
God, I can't get out of. I wish my cruise was this week. I can't even sit anywhere in public. Other than Texas, they're gonna 60-0. Super Bowl. Shut the fuck up.
Andre's just so awesome. I mean, he's the best receiver in the league. Look at his hands. What best hands for what? Modeling? What?
Now you're watching, motherfucker. So, it's unbearable. They're the worst fan base, knowledge-wise, ever. I guess it's because I'm exposed to it. Saints fans aren't that smart either, but at least they're realistic to a point. But then this is something they've never tasted. Taste it. It's sweet. But January and February, you won't taste that. It's going to be bitter. So,
All right.
I don't even know what you were doing with that.
bitter losses. So,
This is the 6-0 holy shit win. So I take Houston on this. I think it's time for the Packers to go off a cliff, and this would be a bad situation for them to be in.
well, and right. So I've got Green Bay because a desperate Green Bay equals victory or 3-point loss. So
Yeah.
they're not going to lose by more than that. Rodgers got him, and they should have tied it yesterday. He had 30 seconds, and he put him in position off the kickoff to tie the game.
Yeah.
Crosby's not missing that again. So, the shit's about to get real, and it's getting a little real right now, but maybe not real enough. So, final game, Monday night, forehead goes to Crybaby, tractor driver.
Oh,
If you don't know, Denver goes to San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
We need to win the game, boy.
Chargers plus 2.5.
Antonio Gates does not love you. That's fancy football stuff. Look, I still had the Chargers ranked because they had a chance. They were really close to pushing the Saints off a cliff for the whole season, and that would have been a hell of a game to win. You talk about games that you show up and you pretty much know you're screwed. Last night was the Chargers had to know shit, we're screwed. Noah sitting there like, man, I'm in a season where I need to be not.
That was the problem. Is he's so absent-minded. He didn't even know. But there was a point late in that game where we're gonna lose this game.
Yeah, it was looking. Yeah,
I don't even know what to do.
like
I gotta get up at 5 a.m. I'm not sure I can. I stopped drinking 2 hours ago. This is not good.
It was close.
Yeah.
And the old man, I'm scared. I don't know what's the line on this again.
2.5.
2.5. They just got to win by 3. The Chargers.
I just don't know. I'll go old man because they need a win.
Yeah, I am wondering how desperate they are, and their 3 losses are to top 5 teams.
Yeah. But
so,
it gets to a point where a loss is a loss, though.
Yeah.
And they're another one of these staring 2 and 4 in the face. And you see an old man that's kept them alive in games where they should have gotten killed. And I think when you do that against the Chargers have secondary that can be had. I mean, we saw it yesterday.
No, well, that's no fair comparison. They held us to 31. That's pretty impressive.
But those touchdowns were one-on-one. The dude didn't have a chance type situation.
Well, we still dropped like a lot of balls. We need to fix that. Camarillo didn't because he's the mixed race guy. Is our monster.
Catches everything.
I'll pick Peyton to pull one out on the road here.
Ryan Matthews is back, and I got to. The Chargers have to win this game for me to feel good about us winning.
Matthews looked good
last night. Yeah. He's back.
Yeah.
And again, our defense, but he's back in the sense that they trust him again.
He looked spry. He looked quick first step.
Yeah. And they trusted him again.
Well, he looked like he knew he was one more fumble away from not playing.
No, certainly.
He wasn't going to run again.
And I kept calling for that fumble. Don't get me wrong. I was calling for it.
But he was falling on the ground quick. Like, I'm on the ground. I'm down. I still got the ball. I'm good.
No, he was.
Don't bench me.
He was assertive. So that concludes the Whim Heads for the week. And
I picked the old man. What's wrong with me?
2 segments because he's putting up stats. And 2 segments that weren't here last week because I can't ask myself questions.
You could.
It's the Stump Stefan segment, NFL trivia. I was gonna continue with what team do you play for stuff, but we can go to that when there's not like fun questions that I fell upon.
All right.
So 3 questions this week. There's only 2 quarterbacks that have had at least 1 rushing touchdown since 2009. That includes this season. Who are they?
Wait, read that again. 2 quarterbacks that have had at least 1 rushing touchdown
through the season since 2009 season, including this season.
I don't understand because Cam had 14 last year.
But he didn't play in 2009. He's only had 1 each season. Sorry. Maybe
one
each.
Who have had at least 1?
1 each season, yeah. Since 2009.
Ah, okay.
There's 2.
Is one of them Brady?
It is.
Okay.
That would be the hard one. But
yeah, he got one last night, so I was like... Okay.
Well, no, he got one the week before.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
That was the one that triggered this question.
Brady, and is the other one... let's see, since 2009...
Yeah, I think I got it. I think I know.
Is it Sanchez?
Has he been in the league since 2009?
Oh, maybe not.
I think so.
Okay. He's obviously not the answer.
No. Well, he hadn't been in the league.
Don't bench me!
He hadn't been in the league.
I don't have any talent. Look at me. I'm making throws, guys.
I told Bob Waters to start him.
How about Rodgers?
No, I thought that's when I looked up.
Yeah.
And I heard this stat on TV, and then I couldn't find it online, so I had to go through every goddamn quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
I think I know who it is.
You think? Take a shot. I've already had one shot at it.
Miguel? Vic?
It is. Yeah.
Yep.
He didn't start in 2009, but
He got a score.
I figured that would have been your first guess.
No, he slipped my mind.
Well,
Too obvious, I guess.
I don't want to go into it.
My bad about them fumbles, though.
All right, since the end, so let me be more specific. Since the AFL-NFL merger,
Wow.
How many, if any, teams have made the playoffs after starting 0-4?
I read this today.
Of course you did, because we won today. And it's a story.
Yeah.
We can do this.
The answer is 1.
That's correct.
And it was the Chargers.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Started 0-4 in... I don't remember the year. Was it relatively recently?
I just saw it.
Define relatively recently.
Like in the last decade?
No. You would think,
Then I
because
have-
they've
with
done
that
that a
type
lot.
of-
But
I
yeah.
thought they were, yeah. No, I don't know when it was.
I think
I'll
I
say
just saw it.
79.
Oh, more recent than that.
Oh, okay.
92, and they finished 11-1, which this Saints team is capable of. Okay, your Atlanta Falcons
Yeah,
have started 5-0.
Yes, they have.
This is the first time they've ever accomplished this since.
I think ever.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I couldn't find that either, but
Yeah.
I believe that is true.
Yeah.
Because they're punk bitches.
Not this year.
We'll see. They haven't played us yet.
Mm.
And on to the
They will be.
state of the art, our fantasy segment.
I'm so horrible at fantasy football.
Well,
Go ahead.
that's why I stopped.
I
Because
should. I should have stopped.
it doesn't truly represent what we know.
I'm too unlucky.
Except I guess our NFL picks aren't that representative either. But
We're not too good at that, apparently.
That's spreads.
but actually, if we picked winners, I think we'd be all right.
Yeah.
But
Even still.
a little better. But yeah, it wouldn't be that much better.
That's what the ESPN commentators do. They just pick winners. I'm like, you're lame.
Right. Yeah.
Except Berman, who is lame for other reasons.
He's for every reason.
How is he still on TV?
Because he's
Donkey pictures.
yeah.
I'm going
No, there's at least that.
I'm going with bestiality pictures of.
Who picks us to lose on Sunday night when he's going to break the record?
I think
That's Holding.
I think McNabb did. They need more injuries.
He held his hands hurt because he was held.
I want to hold your hand.
I'll take your word for it here.
Well, you'll see it.
Don't bench me.
That's not the
that
same
was
play.
clearly- Or did the running back pick it up and throw it long to?
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Sean Green.
Like, that's legal, right?
So, in the state of the art fantasy segment, Rashad Mendenhall, 14 carries, 81 yards, and a touch. 2 catches, 20 yards. Is he worthy now of being a weekly starter or still just a bye-week fill-in? Because Redmond also got 13 carries, so 13, 14. Maybe
Yeah.
they're working him in.
I think you ought to. I think he's one of those guys.
But only 41 yards and those 13 carries. Sorry.
Yeah, but you got to start thinking about him as a strong flex now, because there's people who drafted folks like Green Ellis, Doug Martin. Like I have both of those people in one league. Mikael LaSure, Kevin Smith, Peyton Hillis. Like those people who people are counting on to be flexes. Those guys may not work out as flexes.
Ben Taten's
Now you
already
gotta start
hurt
looking
because
at-
he's an Auburn running back, and that's what they do.
Don't bench me.
Dude, this game's... I'm not going
It's
to be able to go to bed.
It's getting to be a little bit
It's
too
going to
close.
keep me up with enjoyment.
So I think you got to start thinking about him as a weekly flex. I mean, he should be in your flex decision making.
So
process.
he's not your 1 or 2 starter, especially
No.
in bye week? No, really?
Well, no. I think you flex him though.
You
I
wait a
think-
week, maybe.
Yeah, it's one of those guys that you flex with pride though. If you're looking at him versus,
That's like 5 plus, 5 yards a carry.
I know, but it's the first week. We got to see what kind of swelling and pain and
Fair enough.
let him have a couple of weeks. But I think you certainly, if he's for some reason on the free agent list, you grab him with pride.
And the Thursday night against Tennessee. So.
Yeah, and Thursday night at Tennessee, I think he's an auto start. I mean, that's people. This is when they get to that point in a normal 10-team league where you can start looking at some people's rosters and you just see ownership negligence. So you see people still having Beanie Wells on their team. You see, like, just squirrely, I haven't had a catch in 3 weeks, dudes still on people's teams. Like DeLon Carter. Like, I'm looking at my league now. Somebody still has DeLon Carter.
Are people picking up Y.A. Tittle? What's the...
T.Y. Hill.
Yeah.
Y.A. Tittle.
That's ridiculous.
I keep calling him that.
That is
But
so-
but everybody knows what I'm talking about when I say it.
yeah.
The Colts receiver.
Like there's weird folks like that, you know, that people are hanging on to, and it's like, man, you know, I don't.
Kobe Fleener probably needs to be dropped. I mean,
Kobe Fleener, like there's people out there like that, and it's like, man, there's money on the table. There's Rashard Mendenhalls out there that need to be getting picked up.
A year ago, he was a lottery pick. For lack of a better term, he was a first round pick.
Yeah, even in top 15 at worst. You know, he was getting. Don't bench me. That wasn't my fault.
Franchise.
No, it was tipped.
Oh, yeah.
Arthur Prather's playing against the Texas defense.
It was tipped. Cromartie tagging him? Wyatt Tittle
number
did.
11, yeah, Wyatt Tittle. I see.
It was
they got Tebow Cam. Like, ooh, can Tebow go in the game now? No.
Stop
It was tipped. It was not his fault.
Yeah.
All right. So speaking of, I brought up Kobe Fleener.
Yeah.
Some.
Well, you want to start talking tight ends here?
Yeah, we're going to the tight ends. Graham not only going to the bye, but also he may miss some time because the football gods gave me what I needed, and now they're shitting on me, which is fine. I got my blessing, but in more than several ways. But are there sleepers out there? You think are there the guys that maybe haven't been drafted? I know I'm pretty certain there's no. Obviously, in the bye week, there's no Saints player, but I don't think going forward there would be. But
well, I mean, Jermaine Gresham is still out there in some leagues. He's like 2/3 owned in Yahoo leagues. I mean,
Jared Cook better be on people's teams.
Jared Cook is not on people's teams because he had that injury.
He scored again this week.
Yeah, he scored again, but he had that injury, so people started dropping him. People dropped Jacob Tammy probably a little bit too early.
Is he hurt?
No, he just had like a one catch and a no catch. Like he had a couple bad weeks. So everybody like, man, screw this, because they were drafting him thinking he was gonna be Dallas Clark 2012. And
speaking of Dallas Clark, how has he done?
He hadn't done too much, man.
Who's in Josh?
Because
he plays with, but it's Josh Freeman.
It's
so
Josh Freeman.
I assume I know the answer.
Dallas Clark has
very few of his receivers.
Well, he's had a bye.
So
but Dallas Clark has 9 catches for 80 yards. So come on.
For the season. So I assume Rudolph's been picked up. I assume
Rudolph is getting to the point where he's getting picked up, but Rudolph is obviously your number one. If for some reason he's out there, you need to do that, because when they get in the red zone, that's who they go to. Like
right.
Percy Harvin runs in a direction, 3 people chase him because he's awesome. Peterson goes the other way, somebody tackles him because they think it's legal, and then the only person left open is Rudolph. And
right.
Honda and him are like tight.
They are.
So he gets him the ball.
And if Finley misses a week, the guy who came in for Finley against the Colts, he got some catches.
Because he's probably better than Finley.
He's a big guy. Solid. He looked more like a Donald Lee type than the sure-handed. Not the breakaway ability, but yeah. So maybe that guy, if Finley, I don't. Yeah, Dixon. I don't remember his name either.
Let's see. Jermichael Finley quote: "I'll be playing next week for sure. I can feel it."
Yeah, I read that too, and he's not playing. I know if I'm hurt or not. He's not playing.
I can tell.
He talked to Aaron Rodgers' agent again.
Apparently, Mario Williams doesn't know whether he's hurt or not.
But the league is about to investigate that, because he hadn't been on any injury reports. And he's been everybody that he can find. He's copping pleas, saying if my wrist wasn't hurting, I'd be awesome. And it's like,
he's suffering from being a punk bitch.
Alexandre Dumbass.
Yes. Is that the backup for Green Bay?
No.
So no, but check the
Bennett still isn't owned a lot. And I mean, he had a couple down weeks, but I think you can kind of
for bye week, for fill-in, you get the right matchup.
And
maybe the 49ers not.
And I was talking to us about Fred Davis. Let me do some moonwalking. I mean,
I live in that guy's house. Like I'm always.
He doesn't have any touchdowns yet.
He gets receptions. PPR, he's probably,
especially in games where they're behind.
Yeah, which is every game.
Which is about to be every single game.
So yeah, no, he's good, and the other tight end, like you said, at Indy, I think he scored yesterday. He goes to him more than Fleener. They picked them both back to back.
Yeah, that's
in the
true.
draft. And,
everybody! Oh, Scott Chandler, my goodness, yeah, Scott Chandler, number 1.
Is he healthy?
He's healthy, and he's the red zone master too. So as long as they're not playing somebody with a hellified defense that's just going to completely kill him,
San Francisco,
i.e. Scott Chandler, they'll get down there a couple times, and Steve Johnson can't get open on anybody. Fred Spiller, who knows who's going to be playing on one play.
They had a slew of injuries on defense too this week.
And so now it's like
their train is fine.
Yeah, but there's people out there who need to be getting picked up and started, and people need to quit starting Antonio Gates. It's over, man. It's
Rosario Dawson, they should start him over whatever his name is.
Just get away. If you
not an actress,
no, just roll with Malcolm Floyd.
Yes.
If they play the Saints again, you got to start Robert Meacham at wide out, but whatever. But
that was his name. Yeah.
Put it to you like this: Rosario's had one good game, and he's
done nothing since.
But he's outscored Gates whole season with that one game.
Well, the 3 touchdowns. And Phillip Rivers is, well, we know what he is. Off the tight end, in the least. Cutler, Breeze, and Cam on buys.
Oh.
What can we do at quarterback if we didn't get one of those?
If somebody will trade you right
one of those
now,
backups.
If somebody will trade you for Cam Newton right now, like if somebody will take Cam Newton from you, you give them away and you get
you think
Ben Roethlisberger and something else, and you have the time of your life watching him throw for 152 yards and no touchdowns for the rest of the season.
I believe I warned people about this a year ago
because he is snake bitten.
But then I got fooled, and then
but he's snake bitten.
His stock has fallen though. I mean,
he's
really
that's why you got to hurry. He's snake bitten, man. He's screwed. He got the wrong look on his face. Steve Smith still doesn't have a touchdown yet. I mean, come on, guys. So unless they get to this bye week and some cussing gets to going on, then I don't see it.
From Ron Rivera?
I don't see it. What's our record? Oh, we need to get on it. Ron, you're the fucking coach. Come on. People still aren't.
Everybody's in the consolidated effort to let the Saints make the playoffs because the league robbed us. the division's just losing, except for the bitch ass Falcons, which we'll take 2 from them.
Yeah.
Sorry, Stefan.
No, I'm sorry.
You'll be all right. Andy Dalton's.
You pick us those weeks, I guarantee it, and you'll believe it.
Hey, I put him 11th.
That's what I'm saying. That's so anybody will believe it.
Yes. Andy Dalton's out there.
Is he?
He's weird. He's out there. I mean,
it's not this week. He certainly will be.
It's like 70%, and he's one of those guys. Like but the problem is they got to be able to run for him to be able to throw.
So are we buying Tannehill yet?
I don't think.
Is he running enough? Is he mobile? Is he mobile enough to give you rushing yards and maybe a lead that's not negative points, so picks or fumbles?
I don't think you can be picking him up and starting him with a straight face. I mean, because there's other people out there. Like somebody will give you Joey Flacco too, because he just had a shit game against a quote unquote bad defense.
What defensive players? No,
but quote unquote
Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck is people drafted Andrew Luck.
Yeah, they did.
They did.
So I think now with the Chuck Strong, if you got him and you're mad at Matthew Stafford or something like that,
everyone is,
and everybody should be, because this is his last go round. He's on the can't drop list in Yahoo leagues, but I think if he doesn't do shit this week, I think he's gonna come off of that list. I think that's how scared people are about him.
Yeah,
because you're talking like 1,100 yards, 3 touchdowns on the season,
but picks too
with picks. So if you got negative points, you're like completely screwed.
Right. No,
he got a jump over getting in touchdown last week, which kind of saved his day. And if you look at his overall scoring, depending on your league, if you don't have negative points, he's not exactly killing you. But people drafted him to win you games, and he's not doing that.
No,
at all.
First round, and some dumb motherfuckers did that.
Oops.
Me twice.
And other people applauded you. So, because I was convinced it was okay. I would rather have him than Cam, even still.
Is Alex Smith a legitimate starter now?
They play Buffalo every week.
Right, exactly. That's the right answer. That is correct. That is correct. Moss had 1 catch for like 11 yards. Mendenhall 2 for 12 yards. He went to his comfortable targets.
Out for 8 weeks.
Ooh, ouch. Ruh-roh.
You couldn't have him before yesterday. I thought Bernard Scott was white. Oh well. His other guy. That was
No, it was Leonard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian Leonard.
Brian Leonard.
I just, I don't
Don't
see color.
bench me!
I don't see color. That's, how it happens. So, yeah. But Crabtree, I don't think people... He was available in one of the leagues that I drafted for. I looked today, and he was available.
Really?
Well, he hadn't done much till yesterday.
In a points per reception league, he should be automatically owned and started as a flex any week where you got anybody.
Well, that just happened today for me. But so Crabtree and Kyle Williams now is getting looks in San Francisco, but it's a wait and see.
You can't be doing it.
I'm glad he's just being acknowledged. I just want to acknowledge him.
Yeah,
as not only the punt return, the kick returner, but they're using him on the offense. And Vernon Davis again. We're crowning Alex Smith, but it's the majority of his yards were too familiar targets.
Yeah.
I don't think in a meaningful game against a decent defense, which we'll find out Sunday.
Yeah, it's people getting cute.
Can he find someone else?
There's people getting cute right now, and I'm really kind of, because everybody's gonna go with the Buffalo is so bad you could take anybody and start them thing. So of course they play Arizona next week as we talked about. So that's a guy in one of my leagues. He's picking up Kevin Cobb to start against Buffalo.
Well,
that is irresponsible.
No, because that's when Mario gets 3 sacks.
Yeah, this is so irresponsible. If you're gonna be irresponsible, at least do it with Christian Ponder.
Exactly.
Because he's had some good games. That Detroit game was a weird game where he didn't do anything, but I mean, he played well at Indy. He had a good game, obviously, against San Francisco, and obviously, he went off on Tennessee yesterday. So, 250 and 2, and he's not above getting, 30 yards rushing too.
No, that's the thing.
Which is something to think about. So, depending on your scoring system,
and he's not throwing picks, correct?
He's not throwing picks. He's sitting on 0 interceptions for this year. Oh, that's a lie. That's a lie. He threw interceptions. He had his first 2 interceptions against the Titans. So he has 2 interceptions on the season.
Yeah, but that was a crazy game.
Yeah.
Well, that was garbage. But it was well in hand. Yeah. But still, he went 5 games without
picks.
4 and some change without picks.
Yeah, so he's one of those sneaky guys that's on pretty much every free agent list too. But before that, you need to check for Dalton.
No, certainly. I agree with Dalton.
Because you need to pick
Flacco, you do too. I don't understand that.
But Flacco is one.
He's got to be gone after his. Yeah. He's had
good
multiple
games,
300 plus.
But he's one of those guys that people draft to be funny, like in the 16th round, and they don't have any plans of starting him. And maybe you can trade Antonio Gates and get Joe Flacco and Jermaine Gresham or somebody horrible at tight end or whatever, and just smile for the rest of the season.
Yeah. No, I started him this week because Stefan was on by. What happened?
That was just a tweet for right there.
I just saw something that just delighted me. D'Angelo Williams rips fantasy owners who were desperate enough to start him. And they have a picture of him.
Start himself?
To start him. Yeah.
That's because he sucks. People quit drafting this guy. It's the 8th round.
Dear upset fantasy owners
Steve
with the bad
Ridley.
language, you are a fantasy owner for a reason because you can't play or apparently fantasy coach. D'Angelo.
Just stop. I know the name sounds good, and I know he had that 16 touchdown season fucking 3 years ago. Different coaches, different players, different everything.
Even he's telling you that he sucks.
Quit drafting me. Quit starting me.
And that
6 yards on 6
profiles
yesterday.
The profile's confirmed. It is him.
Yes.
So
that's not. I'm not the guy for this.
Speaking of the Twitter.
Oh yeah.
I deprived our fans of the Sheik tweets
you didn't do
last week.
Yeah.
Deprived.
But
yeah, the Sheik tweet. I'll just give you one here.
Just one.
Just one. Yeah, it's related to tonight's game. We've seen a little bit of Tebow, but he converted a 4th down earlier, so he's done something. Yeah, it was a fake punt on 4th inches. It was an obvious fake because there he is as the up man.
Right. Well, he does that.
But Tim Tebow tonight, play the Monday Night Football. He be ready, or the Jesus going to make him dead dog shit.
Well, that sums it up.
And as you noted, this is the 666th Monday Night Football game.
Did the Sheik know that?
I think he did. Basis his tweet. Well, maybe not.
Yeah, that was
Let's see. Yeah, no, I'm not sure he does. But yeah, he didn't mention that.
the Jonesin bringing the knowledge.
Well, there you
Not that I counted every month.
Tebow knows it though. He tweeted about it.
Well, 'cause he's
Looking forward to giving God all the glory in tonight's 666th Monday Night Football game.
Sanchez, like, forget that.
Hey,
Give,
there's some scoring to
Get
be
religion.
done.
Give me some receivers.
Well,
Alright.
so
Look
that's
at
the
me.
Twitter segment, apparently. And we finish off with the tribute. We don't always do it, but one of my favorite football players of all time, and Stefan's even got the jersey on.
That's right.
He's officially announcing his retirement tomorrow. And of all of his accomplishments on the field, to play for the New England Patriots for 13 years in a row, for Bill Belichick to not cut you or fuck with you for 13 years, that's the biggest accomplishment. Kevin Falk, LSU's own, he will retire tomorrow, and actually Kraft and Belichick will speak at his retirement ceremony tomorrow. It's 10:30 a.m., which I can only assume is 9:30 a.m. our time. It'll be It'll be
Oh, that was a
I know. It'll be at the I guess it's the Patriots Hall of Fame, whatever that's about.
not familiar with
The event is open to the public. By the time you hear this, it'll be over. But he spent 13 years, like I said, with the Patriots. He's 36, so still younger than Art and I. And all-time leader in career. He's the all-time leader in career all-purpose yards.
for the Patriots.
Right.
Yeah.
And return yards.
Yep.
And he was selected by the Patriots from out of LSU. I'm going to put this in there, which is bullshit, but I know it. In the second round of the 1999 NFL Draft, Falk tweeted that... no, I don't want to read that. He's got Super Bowl rings. He thanks all his family from Louisiana all the way to Mass, which is Massachusetts, obviously, for believing in him. He'll be missed.
Yeah.
He was, when we turned the corner as a program at LSU, he was a big part of that. He was the big recruit we got, and he broke every SEC record in every kick returns, punt returns, rushing yards. They've since probably been broken, and he did the same in New England. So
Yeah, they may have. I know one in particular, which is most touchdowns scored in SEC college career.
yeah,
It stood until Tebow came along.
yeah. I mean, he had everything,
Yeah.
like every record,
Right.
really,
And-
other than like receiving and.
And from the Patriots' perspective, yeah, he got a lot of return yardage early in his career, but made the transition to supporting role.
He made the team 13 years in a row.
Third down running back. Yeah,
Everybody but him and Brady got cut.
right.
Honestly, everyone.
Yeah, or cut or let go because they started asking for a shitload of money, and
He knew his place.
yeah, he knew his role, and always liked to see him come in on third down because 3rd and 6 got a lot of carries, and it seemed like he always converted. So
In the flat, 7 yards at the reception. Yeah. He's wearing a jersey now.
yep,
So that's that's awesome, and he actually wore it when the Saints those glory days. I don't want to get back into that. But I think that almost is that it. Is that
yeah, I think so.
put 22 in the books?
Yeah,
Yep.
I think so.
I'll pay more attention this week because I won't be in Amsterdam.
Quit starting Antonio Gage.
I did manage to watch some of the games though when I was over there. It was just
Time difference.
kind of late. Yeah, 7 hours.
So it's later, or is it
It's later. Yeah.
middle of the
Yeah,
night?
so I caught like the early game. Yeah.
No, you stayed out. Come on, you don't.
No.
Tuesday you stay up all night. Typically.
Tuesday. Yeah. Maybe if shots are involved. Yeah.
Fuck. Man. Finish with the NFC, because
Got a first one off. Go ahead.